video, we will learn a beginner's guide to Texas Hold'em.
You'll require a standard 52 card pack of playing cards, like so, poker chips that can be used for betting, a dealer button to determine the position of where the cards will go, and then a little and big blind button.
So you will start out a game by flipping up a card for each player that is in the hand to determine the position of the dealer button, like so. Now, the dealer button will be placed on this hand because the ace is the highest card. Had a card come up that was the same hand, then we would go by suits, and the suits go by clubs, diamonds, hearts, spades. We have determined the position of the dealer button. We will now determine the positions of the little blind and big blind. The little blind will be placed directly to the left of the dealer button, with the big blind following directly to the left of that. So for the big blind will place 2 chips into the pot before the cards are dealt out, and the little blind will place half of that, which would be 1 chip, into the pot before the cards are dealt out. Now that the deck is shuffled, we will begin the hand by cutting the deck, like so. You will take part of the top of the deck, pick it up and place it on the table, then take the bottom half and put it on top of the deck, and then you will be ready to deal. You will begin dealing by giving 1 card to each player in a circle, or in the circle, until every player has 2, and you will start with the little blind, like so. Then proceed to the big blind and continue in a circle until every card or player has 2 cards. After the 3 players have their cards and proceed to look at them, they will begin to bet. Player 1 will call the big blind, meaning that they will take 2 chips and put them into the middle to match what the big blind already has. Player 2, who is the small blind, only has to put in 1 chip to call, which they will do so. And the big blind, having already put 2 chips in, is now either allowed to raise or check. They will check, which means that they no longer have to put any money in, and we will proceed to the flop. Now that the first round of betting is complete, we will now proceed to the flop, which is the first 3 cards of the community cards to be dealt out. This is done by placing 1 card face down and then flipping up the next 3 cards in the deck. This is also known as burning and turning. Now, these cards are community cards and may be used by all players to create the best 5-card hand. Now that this has been done, the players will once again commence a round of betting. In this example, player 1 has chosen to check, which means that they will neither bet nor fold their cards, but have decided to pass their turn to the next player. To continue this, player 2 and player 3 will also check, meaning that no betting will be done in this round, and we can proceed to the turn, which means that we will burn another card and turn up another card, and this card is known as the turn card. Now that we've come to the turn, another round of betting would commence. In this example, player 1 has decided to bet 1 chip into the pot. Now, the big blind, or player 2 can either call this or raise this, and in this example, they have decided to raise it up to 3 chips. Now, the third player has the option to either call the 3 chips or fold their hand, but in this example, they have decided to call the 3 chips. Now, since player 1 already has 1 chip in, if they decide to call this, they must only put 2 more chips in to match what the raise has been to. And in this example, they have decided that they will call and put in 2 more chips. Now that this round of betting has commenced, we will now go to the river. We do this by once again burning 1 card and turning 1 up. The final card is known as the river card. Now a new round of betting will commence. In this example, player 1 will bet 2 chips. Player 2, realizing that their hand may not be as good, decides to fold their cards, which means they will discard them into the burn pile, and they will not be in the hand anymore, and will not be able to play again until the next hand starts. Player 3 has decided that they will call this hand, which means they will also put 2 chips into the middle, which means now the round of betting has commenced. Now, to decide a winner, both players will flip their cards up, and whichever one has the best 5-card hand between their 2 cards and 3 of the community cards will win the hand. We do this by flipping up the cards, like so. We have the cards turned over. You can see that player 1 has 2 pair with 9s and 3s, and that player 3 has 2 pair with queens and 3s. Now in this hand, player 3 would win because queens and 3s is higher than 9s and 3s. And if you have any confusion on this, please refer to the hierarchy of cards in the instructions. So now all the chips would go to player 3 as they have won the hand, and you will collect all the cards up to go ahead and begin a new round. A new round will commence after all the cards have been shuffled again, and then each button position will move directly to its left and start a new hand. With that, you've completed your first hand of Texas Hold'em. Thank you for watching this instructional video on how to begin to play Texas Hold'em.